Hey guys, welcome back once again, Ernest Cole Fishing. I'm the Bassman Ernest Cole, and today we are going to continue our build of our very first custom rod. So let's get started. Alright guys, first thing you want to do when you get your rod and get ready to be built is to find the spine of the rod, and essentially is the backbone of the rod, and that's going to dictate whether it's a spinning rod or a casting rod. You still have to do that for both processes. I didn't show that because I was not 100% sure on how to do that, and I did figure that out, so sorry I didn't show that, but there's 100 videos out there on how to do that. Leave a comment below and I'll show you how to do that. But anyway, what we're going to now get down to is actually putting the reel seat, fitting that, the handles and the fighting butt on the end. And I had a little bit of difficulty with this as far as spacing. If I had a full grip, then it wouldn't have been a problem, but I like split grips and I chose a split grip. So the spacing on it as far as the reel seat and the handle, and you got the fighting butt, this little area right here, I wasn't sure 100% on that spacing, but I did look, found a lot of good resources online, and a lot of them said, you know, just get a rod that you like and kind of see where that spacing is, measure it out, which is what I did. Also looked online and see how a couple of the rod companies spaced theirs out, so I found a good, I think a good starting point for me. What I'm going to do is measure to where I want my, I'm measuring to where the end of the reel seat is going to end up on the rod itself, and I settled on 10 inches from the end. So let's measure 10. We got our China marker here. We're just going to make a mark at 10 inches. And that's how our reel seat is going to sit in there. I'm also going to go ahead and mark, just in case I lose this end mark for some reason, where the end of that goes, where you actually attach the reel to the handle. And also I'm going to measure on the end of the handle here itself, in case some of my marks get kind of messed up. I'll know where to reference that to. And I marked one of these. One of these is the fighting butt, and one of them was a little bit more tapered than the other. You probably are not going to be able to see that on camera, but I wanted the one with the most taper as the fighting butt. This one. And just going to kind of mark that as well. Let me take the sticker off. And if I leave something out on my detail on this during the rod build, guys, I do apologize. This is my very first rod build. I'm sure there's a ton of other people out there that do this a whole lot better than I do. But this is my first rod. I wanted to do this, like I said in the opening video, for a long time. I just never had bought the kit to do it. Been looking at them for years from Mudhole. Mudhole.com is where I got all my components, my kit, everything. It was all in a box. And you guys, if you look back at the first video in this series, I did an unboxing of what all I came with it. I'll clean some of this up later. I'm just going to kind of mark this right now. Okay, got that marked. My fighting butt. Get my marks on the same kind of plane there. And that's on the end. And like I said, this is just kind of a reference. It's not set in stone. I can move this at any time. Take the end, and from my understanding, that's going to butt up against that. So I've got one there and there. So let's take that. What about there? Alright guys, as you can see, on on my rod blank. There's kind of the marks that I've made. So once you've done that, next what you're going to do is actually start fitting your parts on there. And what you'll need with this is the reamer that came with the kit, and you just want to just ream it out and hollow it in. There'll be a lot of fitting this. Let me just put this fighting butt on here. I want to make sure that taper is good, so I'm going to come from this end. As you can see, it doesn't slide down all the way. So what I'm going to have to do now is I'm going to take my time with this and just go a little bit at a time until that fighting butt slides all the way down to the end where I can fit it on the end. And there's the little the end of it. You'll see it when it comes back around. I'll get this and I'll show you. That comes around and just fits on there. That'll go actually up in the blank itself and fit on there real nice. So when I epoxy it, it'll get on there and it'll stay on there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to ream that. I'll just kind of put this in a little time lapse and maybe some pictures here and there, and not show you that whole process because it may take me a few minutes. Probably is. So cue the time lapse. Alright, that I think is going to be good enough. Alright, as you can see when we put that on the end, that is how the end of that is going to go. So, that fit up pretty good. I had a little bit of hollowed out too much, but that's the purpose of this little butt cap here. Kind of cleans everything up, give it a good finished look. And if you've got any spacing here, these are called winding checks, is what they're called. And you slip those on. Let me see if I can slip one on and I'll show you guys how that looks. Just kind of slide her down. And you'll squeeze that up on there as well. It's kind of rubbery. And once you get that on there, you'll notice that gives it a finished look. I got some cork on here, I gotta clean it up. But that'll give that a good finished look. And you know, guys, it's just things like a winding check is something I never really paid attention to before, or really rod construction as a whole. But that's how that fits, and that's how that looks. That's how it's gonna look. So what I'm going to do now is continue with this, and I will size up the rest of the grip, get that in position, and we'll just keep plugging away. Continue time lapse. Alright guys, we have fitted up our fighting butt and our rear grip here. So what we have to do now is actually we're going to have to epoxy these on so that if this was just a one-piece grip, it wouldn't be that big a deal. We could just put it on there and go, but I'll have to actually set this and epoxy this in place before I put my reel seat on, because I'll have to take some tape and build up arbors for this, for that to fit securely on here, and I can't slide that down if I do that. So I've got to first attach the fighting butt and the rear grip along with the winding checks and the butt cap here. So let's mix up some epoxy and do that. Alright guys, what they sent me to epoxy these is called pro-paste. This is a two-part epoxy. You just mix equal parts. I've used epoxy, two-part epoxy on a million projects around the house, so Don't really see very much issues with this. Just gonna put that there. And this one's kind of a different color. We will put that there. And I've cleaned my butt, my blank, and I'm ready to go with this. So equal parts. I've got some also for cleanup, some denatured alcohol, and some wipes here because I'll probably have to wipe off some excess. So let's do it according to the instructions. Got a little bit there. Clean the ends. A little bit there. And we mix. Should have got it. I have to get a different stick on the next one. You can see that already. It says mix to it's a consistent color. Alright, let's give it a whirl. There, this is for the fighting butt, so we don't need a tremendous amount. I do want to coat it thoroughly. Put it all over there. It's a little bit smaller, plus it'll kind of give me a good starting point and let me know how much I need on the fighting butt, which is about twice as big. So barely have enough. Good liberal coat. What you need. There. And here we go. Push down. It says you want to give it a twist, which is pretty tight. And that epoxy will kind of lubricate it a little bit, so that it'll come right to the end. And we're at the end. And what I want to do is smear this as much as I can on the end to put my butt cap on. Center it on there as best I can. Hold that for a second. Make sure it's centered. Alright, let's put my winding check on as well. Good, clean, finished look. Let's see if I can do this just a bit. That winding check's going to hold pretty good by itself, just because of the friction that it causes. Okay. And we're going to just slide that up in there. Use my fingernail to get it as close as I can. It looks pretty good. And it's not some denatured alcohol. And just kind of clean it off here. I can feel a little bit of epoxy there on my fingers. So I got it. Just a smidge more. Don't want to have any dried epoxy on your blank. It's my first blank, but I want to make it as clean, as nice as I can. I know it's not going to be perfect. I know that right off the bat, so I'm not too concerned with that, but I do want it to be as nice as I can possibly get it. Okay, that looks good. Once I fit my other grip, I'll come back and clean that because it's falling off. And what I'll do, it says a working time of about 4 hours. So I'll set that to the side, put a little bit more on there. Let me go get a better stir stick and another thing of this. Be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got a better stir stick and an applicator. Let's go ahead and stick this winding check on so that it'll go on that end and we don't forget it. Stick that there. That's far enough. Channel marker. Like that. So I know how far down to go. That's 10 inches on my reel seat. Maybe you guys can see that. But I've got that little knob on the end that fits up in the reel seat, so I made sure and made a second mark where this is really supposed to end up finishing. Maybe put a mark on the other end. I scrubbed it off earlier, so we've got marks on in the end and there, and that sits right there, and then we'll be good to go. So next, some more epoxy. Oh my god, I just got it right in the middle of it. Hang on. Do not put your rod in your old epoxy pile, because you'll get epoxy on your rod where you don't want it. I think we're good now. Okay, starting over. Alright, we want to get, I'm going to get a big glob of this. There's that. An equal glob. This pro face is actually going to go a little bit further than I thought it might when I first started. That is probably too much, but I had rather have too much is not enough. So mix this together. Oh yeah, that's going to be plenty. It's looking good there. I think I'll need that brush. Just use this. Since I've got so much. And many good uses for a paper plate. Okay, good. We've got a generous amount here. Let's set that there so I don't get it on me or the rod, because I'm messy, man. Okay. Alright, we're thoroughly mixed now. Let's find our marks. And we're just going to coat the crap out of this. Because we want this to stick on there. That's going to be where we hold on. So you want a good grip. And like I said in the other one, this epoxy is going to give it a little bit of lubrication when you're sliding this down. And I'm thoroughly expecting a lot of squeeze out. If that's okay, we can clean it up with the denatured alcohol. No fuss, no muss. Okay. Okay. Put that there. Winding check is installed or ready to go. Let's take our handle. Set that on the ground. And here we go. Sliding up to where we need to be. Getting there, getting there. If I can find that other mark, I should be about there. Yeah, I can barely see it. Squeeze a little bit there. Awesome sauce. That is where we need to be. So before I slide that winding check, I'm going to just take a little bit of this off. And then I'll slide that winding check up. Actually, the friction of it will be enough to hold that in place. Actually, let's slip over. Winding check flipped over on me. Oh, there we go. Got it. Okay. Push that up. All that squeeze out of it. Okay. Denatured alcohol. There. We'll go ahead and get another rag and just thoroughly clean everything up right now. Make sure there's nothing on the blank. I want a clean rod when I get through with this. Like I said, I don't expect it to be perfect, but I do want it looking as good as I can. This is epoxy, so if anything does on here, I should be able to just kind of you know, kind of flake it off. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put this in a couple of holders so that I can get this butt cap on, and then I'm just going to leave this here. Dab that on. I don't think it's going to take very much for this to hold, but there we go. Work that around. Bring it up. I'm having a little bit of issue with this. Put some on the back of this as well. I may have to come back later with some sandpaper or something to kind of clean that up. It's not the best area in the world. Tell you what I'll actually do right now. It's not holding as secure as I want. So we're going to make a temporary clamp for the fighting duck. Clean this up, and we'll make a temporary clamp. Get it. Take some of our masking tape that they sent us. Get that fighting butt just exactly where we want it centered as best as possible. And then we will just take some masking tape. It's probably not going to take a lot of pressure. I don't want it to slide around. I just want it there, epoxied in place where we need it. Good woodworking tip. You guys ever do any woodworking? Like I said, not going to put a lot of pressure on it. just enough to keep it where we want. Doesn't have to be pretty. It's a temporary fix. Alright. Do one more time. I'm going to wipe it all down. Really, really good. Denatured alcohol. Wipe down my blank where I slid. I know I got some sticky spots. So, don't want any epoxy on here where it doesn't need to be. Alright. And with that, guys, I'm going to let this sit overnight. I was hoping to get this done in one video, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to, just because I've got to let stuff sit up because I don't want to move it. So with that, we're going to cut this video off. Thank you guys for watching. Please come back next time, and part 2 of installing the reel seat and grip, where we will actually put the grip on here, show you guys how to do that, to ream out the other foregrip and get that epoxied in, and that should be it. And then we can put the guides on and the top and wrap all that up, put the finishes on. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really, really excited about this project. And if you guys are too, smash that subscribe button, hit that little bell to let you know whenever I do upload another series of videos like this. And thank you guys for watching so much. The love and support is just amazing to me. So we'll come back tomorrow, and see you guys tomorrow. Yeah. Cue the outro.